Day one. Okay, what is the day? Why I say day one? Because the day that I realize the mission, the day that I kind of get it, because sometimes you have things going on, but you don't understand too much. And of course, in a business, in a project, you had a day one of something. And that's what I say that was when it was really born, the entire idea, and I realized what was my mission, my personal mission, the mission of people. So I was a yoga teacher before I started with the project of the Captain Painter back in Brazil. Okay, so basically I was a yoga teacher. So my background is since like my first profession was being a yoga teacher. So basically I study my high school, and then during high school I get like since very young age, I was in connection with meditation and a lot of different types of like self-study and self-improvement, like study, like, energy and acupuncture, and Reiki, and all of different things that was not necessarily standard or some stuff that people really understood or did in my family. Nobody was talking about this. Nobody knew anything about that. And I was doing this meditation, trying to do like, how can I say this? Like dream projection of the body, this kind of crazy stuff. Anyways, and yoga was something that I put myself in very, very fast. I became a yoga teacher, like in about 1 year, I was already teaching yoga. And it was my background. After this, I have a lot of personal things that I've done, like meditations, fasting processes and stuff. By the age of 25, I had schools, yoga schools between my 20 years old and my 25 years old back in Salvador, in Vila do Atlântico, which is a little bit in the north of Salvador. And then I was having a school of yoga and so on, and I was only doing studies of myself. By the age of 25, I told myself, I need to see a little bit the world. I need to see outside. I've done a lot of like interior explorations in my mind, my subconscious mind and everything. So now we have to go like out. And then I went to France. I stayed for 5 years. I did studies in international trade and this kind of stuff. And then I came back to Brazil. When I came back to Brazil, I need to make money because my life changed. And I decided to work into international trade. I was searching machines. I decided to go into the construction industry. I started like representing painting machines. And then I get in contact with an opportunity for a job. It was a mess, but I did the job. I bought the machines. I didn't have money to pay the machines. So the job turned really bad, and I had to start painting myself with the guys to pay the machines and to make my life by that time. So all this back in Brazil. But when I was doing that, I was really sad. But at the same time, I created the concept of the Captain Painter, but in Portuguese, Capitão Pintura. And I was doing that, but it was really sad. I was working like a crazy guy. No time for me, zero time for me. So I had a house close to the Carnival in Brazil. So I was doing like a hostel during the night, like construction during the morning. So I was working as a crazy guy. I was not even not sleeping well. And I was doing all this stuff. And while I was doing that, I have one of my old students that come to me and send me a message. They say, "Hey Augusto," his name is Fernando. And Fernando sent me a message. I say, "Hey Augusto," and he's from Portugal. So he was in Germany working with cars. He's in the car industry. He's an engineer. And he sent me a message and said, "Augusto, I'm São Paulo to do business, but I really want to get a flight from São Paulo to Salvador to meet you for some time. Can I go there? I would love to see you." And when he sent me this message, remember, I was a yoga teacher. I went to France for 5 years, and I was back doing construction stuff. So it was more or less 10 years after he studied yoga with, okay? I want to give you a little bit of understanding of the contextualization of time. And then he came and they say, "Fernando, you can come. I'm not teaching yoga anymore. Right now I'm a construction guy. I'm a journeyman." Basically, I'm not vegetarian anymore. Right now, I eat some meat and stuff. I want to let you know, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, I said, "No problem, but I really want to see you." "Okay, my friend, come here." And I would like to align his expectations because I didn't want to have to come and see me doing construction work with no yoga school, nothing like comparable to what I had before. It's a completely different life. Anyways, he came and I said, "Fernando, what you're doing?" And they say, "Augusto, I came here to thank you. I came here to really thank you because you changed my life when I was with you studying yoga. It was completely changed, and I thank you because I was at the bottom of everything bad that you can imagine, and it was at the point of a cliff. And because of this time that I had with you, and I don't say that's me, guys, really. It was us, right? It was not me, but I was channeling information eventually and was bringing some stuff on the table. But it's his own work, right? His personal work. But he thanked me about this. And he came to me and said, because of the time, I was completely changing my life, and I was like able to get a new job, and he was being fired by the time. I was able to get a new job. I changed my family, you know. I was able to get my actual companion, my actual wife, blah, blah. And I still practice yoga. I practice with my wife, and we do this, and we are growing. We have this healthy relationship, and I want to thank you. Because at this time, because you were there, and I could get in touch with this, I completely changed myself. And then he came to me and say, and then now what you're doing, Augusto? What you are really doing now? I say, oh my gosh, and when he asked me this question, I was sad. I was bad. Because, you know, when you have someone tell you that he appreciates so much something that you're not doing anymore, like you feel yourself say, oh gosh, what I'm doing with my life, man, I really don't know. So he came to me, what you're doing? And I said, oh my gosh, I need to say that I'm a journeyman, not doing anything related to yoga and so on. Okay. But I started saying to him, and I started explaining little by little to him what I was doing. Back then, I was already creating all this, but I didn't know. It was not really my mind yet. So I was telling him, you know, well, Fernando, we have this, the Captain Painter, in the age of the painting is heroes and this, and we try to motivate people with gifts and with a career path and a way for them to grow and to learn, blah, blah, blah. And then I was explaining this, but still feeling bad, like with a little bit of doubt of myself. But Fernando comes to me and he tells me that, man, it's very interesting, but you have the same bright and the same energy in your eyes than when you were teaching yoga. When he told me that, I say, man, that's what is, I understand now. I understand what I'm doing now. And then we have the expression in Brazil, like when a fish cai, when you have the understanding of it. And in that moment, I say, I know what I'm doing. I really know what I'm doing. I'm doing yoga. I'm not doing construction. I'm doing yoga. But I'm doing yoga in the construction field, working as a painter and doing whatever, because yoga or self-development do not need to have a space. You don't have to have a formal structure. It could be everywhere, and it should be everywhere. And I remember myself, because when I was a very, very high level yoga teacher, one of the things that I teach to my guys is when you get the yoga, you don't need to do yoga anymore. You are yoga. Understand? When you get the yoga, you don't need to do it anymore. You become the yoga. Because you don't need to do breathing anymore, because you already breathe like this. You don't need to be reprogramming your mind anymore, because you already had this in your mind. You don't need to do meditation anymore, even if I still do it, because you are the meditation in person. So this is the expression of it. Anyways, so and then back then I realized what is your job, what is our job. Now I say to you, my job is to expand a strong philosophy and system inside people without them even knowing. I'm going to repeat this very carefully because it's important for you to get it. My mission, when I saw this, I understood that my mission is to bring yoga, if you want, or self-development, whatever word you want to name it, but to bring a system, a code that will be working inside people even if they don't know it. And that's very interesting, because the point is, what is the problem with yoga and this type of philosophy, right? Like yoga, self-improvement, anything that's related to this. People don't search it as much, and whenever they search it, they don't stay doing it as long as it's necessary for them to make a change in their life. Okay, so basically it's this. If I have a school of yoga today, or if I have a school of philosophy, you know, I'm not gonna have, it's not a lot of people that's gonna come to me tomorrow and say, hey Augusto, I want to do yoga. It's not this. It's not a lot of people. It's only people that have a higher education, that have a lot of education, to have contact with this type of structures, philosophies, and knowledge. And they become interested when they get there. But yoga can work with people that have no education, can work in people that never have any education. You understand? If you have a philosophy. You don't need to be very wealthy, have a lot of money to get this. You understand what I'm talking about? And when it's more clear, every day it's a lot more clear for me than this. Okay. And back then I say, man, I have to find a way that I can pay people, and put the system in their process of work. You understand? So basically what we do, there's nothing more interesting, more strong than that. So we give people the opportunity of make their financial life improving themselves. And that's extremely powerful. And there is no necessity to have money or to have knowledge. Everyone can come. The only thing they have to do is have this force of good inside of themselves. Be a good person, basically, and want to grow. So the only thing that they need to do is be a good person, really want to do good stuff, don't mess with people and do bad stuff with people, right? Don't be evil, okay? Be a good person and be hungry. Want to do a sacrifice to grow. Do you have this, have this inside powers? Man, I have to be better. I need to do better. I need to grow. If they have it, they can count. That's it. We're gonna find a place for that. One way, another way. Because we can be in any industry with our system. And that was my day one. That's very interesting. So I would like to share this as the day one of the job.